back, everyone, to the Late Lewis Show. It's Friday, so you know what that means. It's our fan show where we have the absolute best supporters of the Burgundy and Gold, and got some great news for you guys. The show is now presented to you by Crossover Meats, and they are doing some wonderful things. It's real meats blended well, and it's chicken and beef, and they have these great burgers. So make sure you check them out. And they also sponsor my radio show. So appreciate all the love that Michelle Adelman and everyone's giving us over here on our fan show. So we've got some folks in here. We started a little later today just because of the travel schedule. And I just did want to, let everyone know that for home games, we're going to stick to having our show on Saturdays. Okay. And then for away games, we're going to have the shows be on Friday. So, hopefully that works for your schedule, but we're trying to mix it up and get everyone a chance to come on. I've had a lot of people reach out saying they want to come on, but they can't because they're at work. Some people right now in our video boards are at work right now. So I
Yes,
appreciate that
sir.
dedication. And as always, for all the folks in here right now who are in their cars or their vehicles, be safe. Just don't want anything to happen on my accord. So with all that said, let's get right into it. Big game coming up Sunday in Atlanta for the Washington Commanders, and they have a chance to get their record to 3-1. And I'm going to ask you guys, and we'll start this with this, and we'll go around the board here. If I were to ask you before the season started that this team could be at the quarter mark of their season, potentially with a 3-1 record, knowing the injuries that they've been besieged with, would you have signed up for that? So let's start with Brad Savage. What's going on, Brad? Good to see you again, man. It's been a
Good to see
while.
you. Yeah, I know those Saturdays is rough for me. So when you said Friday, I thought I'm making sure I'm on this one.
All right, so
Yeah.
let's go. I appreciate that. So
Yeah,
what you think? Would you have signed up for that start?
I'll sign up for 3-1. The
Hmm.
injuries that would hurt my heart, but I'm like, if it's 3-1, then okay,
Right.
because it's all about winning. Of course, I'd love to see Jaden out there, Terry out there, everybody who hurt. But if we can win, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, and I should have prefaced the question with saying clearly people would sign up for 3-1. I'm sure of that. But would you have signed up for 3-1 with all of the injuries, or maybe 1-3, 2-2 with no injuries? That's
No,
the way I should have prefaced it. So no,
I
you got to.
want 3-1, three
All
and
right,
one.
all right. That's what's up. All right. So Ellison, what's up, my friend?
How you doing, man? Good to see
I'm
everybody. Sorry I'm in the car. My daughter got soccer practice and a game early in the morning, man. So stay busy over here. But I would take the 3-1 with the injuries, I guess. You can't get those wins back. You know what I mean? You can't trade them
Mhm.
back in. So I'll take them for now. I would like to have everybody healthy, but it's the NFL, man. Guys will get hurt. So next man up.
That's it. That's it. All right. So we have Eric's with us right now. What's going on, Eric?
Yo, what's good, man? What's going on, Lake? Good to see you. Been a couple
Hanging in
weeks.
there. Yes, sir.
I tell you what, yeah, we got some injuries, wide receiver, Terry, this, that, but O line, D line, and our defense is relatively healthy. I mean, yeah, no Jaden, but right now, because we got Atlanta, coming up this week and the Raiders last week, I mean, if it's going to happen, we got a easier stretch right now if it's going to happen during the year. So, yeah, as long as the main guys, as long as the main positions stay healthy, O line, D line, and the backfield, we'll be all right.
So you would sign up for the 3-1 right now then? Yes.
Oh yeah,
Okay. I mean, and this goes to show you how things have changed with people now as far as the winning, that's the expectation, right? And football's a violent sport. Unfortunately, injuries come with the game. So, if you look at some of these other teams around the league, I mean, look at the Ravens. I mean, and the Chiefs, they're playing each other this weekend, and the loser of that game is going to be 1-3. And in the AFC, that could be a death blow for a team early in the season. I know these two teams are so talented they can recover, but 3-1, 1-3. That's a huge difference. So
yeah.
good stuff there. What's up,
Just get
Shauno?
Hey, how y'all doing? Happy fan day.
Happy
So,
fan day.
yes, I definitely would take the 3-1 with the injuries. And if we could do 3-1 every quarter, then we end up in the playoffs, most
I
likely.
like it.
Go.
So
I
I'll
like it
take that. I'll
for
take that.
sure.
And a
Uh,
lot of
For
people
that.
when I say that quarter, a lot of people don't realize that a lot of teams look at things in that, it's week to week. Don't get me wrong. The focus is you're 1-0 each week. That's the goal. But Yeah, they do look at things in quarters as well. And you're right. If this team can win every quarter, meaning not just go 500, but literally get 3 wins every quarter, I mean, you're looking at 4 losses on the year, and last time I recall, there was this guy right now that has some glasses on. No, there's two people already have glasses on, but somebody has all white and has glasses on that predicted this team was going to be what? 13-4. That's what I said. So I'm just saying,
Yeah.
these injuries are going to definitely play a part if that happens or not. But that's a good point, Sean. Oh, great point. All right, so Willis,
Lead to $1.
yeah, man. All right, so Willis, what's up? What you think?
Hey, well, the original question you asked was if the beginning of the season, if you'd said we had these injuries, do you think we would have been 3-1? And I was thinking about that as everyone else was talking, and then Eric hit one of the things that I was thinking about is the strength of schedule for these first 4 games. If you told me, yeah, we had a few injuries, I would have said, I think we could probably still pull off a 3-1, given the talent level and the depth that we've had.
Yeah,
Can we sustain that? I
yeah,
don't know. I mean, that's what makes me nervous. We need to get some people back, but yeah, I think for this first leg, I think I would have still predicted 3-1. Moving forward, we've got some tough legs. In these
super
next,
tough.
yeah,
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, the one thing that I love about this football team is that next man up mentality is real in the locker room,
it's true.
and
Yeah.
and they all feel like they're all capable. So I was talking to Darnell Savage yesterday at practice, and he just fits right on in. Someone was asking me about
It's
CJ
exciting.
Garner Johnson. Like how come they didn't go after him? And no offense to him, I don't know that guy personally, but I can just tell you right now, he
All
does
the
not fit.
stories.
He doesn't fit the locker room.
Yeah.
And there's a reason when I was talking to Darnell, who's from the area, so I was like, welcome him back home, literally. Man, it just jumped off right at you, just how intelligent the guy is. And when you hear him speak and the mannerisms, everything, he just fit right in because that's how all these guys are. There's not a guy in that locker room that you go and talk to that you're like, what was said and what are we doing? It's not like that. Everybody's direct, everybody's courteous. But at the end of the day, when they put their helmet on, they become different on the field. And that's what they do. That's what that means by that culture. This guy's picked up, speaking of Darnell Savage, he's already immersed into the playbook. He already knows the playbook. I mean, that's goes to show you that these veterans that they're signing are guys that can come right in and get on the field. Preston Smith's a guy that you probably should see a little bit of this week as well. So that'll keep building. So everything is just all in tow. It all makes sense. So one of the next things I did want to ask you guys about was obviously, Jaden's not playing now. I don't think I'm going to get in trouble for saying that because I'm sure it's already been out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's not playing. And I said last week, if Marcus plays well, I don't know if I play Jaden next week against Atlanta. And I'm going to give you my reason for it. Outside of the fact that you don't want to injure your biggest asset or hurt him even more, I can tell you right now, if the Raiders game was a playoff game, Jaden would have played. Okay. So I don't want people walking around thinking this guy's really, he's injured. No, he's hurt, but he's not injured. Big difference. But I'm going to tell you why I think it's important that he not play this week outside of just the whole injury or injured hurt aspect. It's because you guys and I know he's going to play in LA. That's where he's from. He's
Homecoming.
not trying to go out there and be up in the booth. He wants to be on the field. And let's face it, that's a marquee game. It has a lot of ring to it now. Jaden versus Herbert, a kid coming back to SoCal. I'm sure they would have to literally put handcuffs on Jaden, literally in time to a bedpost for him not to be able to get out on that field. So I want to go around the board again. We'll go counterclockwise here. I think Willis might still be down, but we can start with Sean though. Like, what's your take on that? Do you feel like there's without question you expect him to play when he comes out your way? Because we were just talking about linking up when I get out
Right,
there.
right. Definitely a homecoming situation for him. I want to say probably 90% of the tickets that were sold on our end or to see him that type of
Mhm.
game. And it's going to be people in the area that kind of put their head in the sand when we weren't doing so well. He comes aboard, we start doing well. All of a sudden, they dusting off you know, their gear and stuff. But definitely something I'm looking forward to. I hope he's healthy. I hope he's not rusty. From sitting
Yeah,
out.
you don't want to be rusty against the Chargers defense, but that's the nature of the business. And yeah, it's funny you say that because like I was telling you guys before we came on, there's a lot of people that have reached out to me who I know live out there, and they're just like, "Is Jaden playing? Is Jaden playing?" And I'm like, I'm not the end all be it all of it, but if you ask me from what I see and from kind of what I hear, I'm pretty sure he's playing. But now, that's the question. And Willis, I'm not sure if you could hear us, but it was, as far as Jaden, what's your take on the fact that do you think he's going to play next week when he goes back home, technically? But the side note to that is, and me, I always like to play devil's advocate and give you another piece to it. What if Marcus goes out and lights it up again against Atlanta? And I mean, really light them up. Do you sit him just because Jaden is that guy and we know he's the face of the franchise? But do you just say, hey, we're going to give you another week to get better, so that we get into this other stretch of games, which are clearly going to be tougher coming up? So we'll go with Willis on that one. What do you think, Willis? You're still on mute there, buddy. Okay. Well, we'll get back to you. He's still on mute. Okay. So we'll move on to Eric. What do you think, Eric?
Man, I'm like this. All right. I just look at Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Wentz went out. Nick Foles comes in. He's the hot hand.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's still, Jaden's long term. And, the Chargers is not going to make or break our season.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, if Mariota, if they have another game where they put up 35 to 40 or more,
Mm-hmm.
I'd say keep rolling with them. Let Jaden get, 100% because the season's, I tell these Green Bay fans I know, I'm like, hey, look, it's not one in September, it's one in December, late November, December, and January. So,
But what
yeah,
if
if things
Jaden
are
is
hot and looking
100%?
good,
Yeah, but
yeah,
what if he is cleared and he checks out perfectly fine? Because one thing I'll tell you about this coaching staff and these doctors and trainers, they're not going to play anybody unless they're 90 plus. And if
yeah,
Jaden is cleared, then he's pretty much okay.
yeah.
So
He
what if
should
Marcus
play.
goes? But what if I was gonna say if Marcus shreds Atlanta, do you still say if Jaden is 100% ready to come back?
Yeah.
Are you gonna? Are you? Yeah, yeah. So I mean, and I know everybody wants to chime in, but hold on, Eric.
Yeah,
So you're saying you still would ride Marcus?
if he's the hot hand, if they drop 40
Oh
plus
no,
again, but as
you
soon
lose
as
your
let's be
job,
real,
man.
as soon as Jaden gets, as soon as he's good to go, he's gonna play. And Marcus Mariota knows that. There's no hard feelings.
Exactly. Oh, we got Mike B joining us right now. What's going on, Mike?
What's up now? I didn't think I was gonna make it today, but
Brother Mike,
I'm here. Hey,
It's
what's
good, man.
happening,
It's good. We
EB?
got a small crew today, but that's okay. That's okay. I think everybody's gonna try to join tomorrow, and it's not gonna happen. So
Yep.
it's all good.
Look, we got a small crew for Sunday too.
Yeah, man. And that's actually what we were talking about. And so the question is, we're not trying to look too far ahead, but we're just, we play the hypotheticals here and have fun with it. The question is if Marcus goes out and lights this thing up on Sunday and, going into LA the next week and it's a homecoming for Jaden, uh, do you ride Marcus or do you give Jaden another week? But what if Jaden is already 100%? You got to put Jaden back in there. We're
he's
not,
going back
for
out.
anybody watching out there, I am not saying under any circumstances, Jaden has to be under center regardless if he's healthy. So, all right, so let's move around. Let's go to Brad. What you think on that?
Oh, I wanted Jaden to play this week, but if the doctors say no, then
Not
no.
in harm's way though, right?
Yeah, not in harm's way. But
Right.
I'm just will echo what you were saying, like, is that I trust DQ, the coaching staff, and the doctors. If he's cleared to play, then let him go out there and do his thing 100%. Because I feel like they're not gonna put him out there unless he can do everything that he did before he got hurt. So
100%.
yeah. So as soon
So
as he's ready, put him out there.
Okay. All right, Allison, what you think?
If Marcus is hot and Jaden is healthy, I'm putting Jaden in there. It's his show, it's his team. He is the future. He's now. I think that may set a bad precedent in the locker room if you pull a move like that. I don't think that would good look. That would be a good look for Dan Quinn or anybody like that. So it's JD5 show. If he's ready to go, put him out there.
Yeah. And so if you're just joining us, and you're like, what are they talking about? Why are they even asking this question? The original question was, if Jaden, obviously we know he's not playing this week, and I was saying, I'm telling you as a reporter for the team, I am convinced he's playing when he goes home, and there's no way they're going to keep that guy from hitting the field in LA. That's not going to happen. So smart move on their behalf to give Marcus another chance, in this week, because the offense has looked good with Marcus. And ironically, when Marcus played last year in those games, the offense was crisp. It was humming. So I don't think they lose a beat. I don't think Cliff has to change his playbook at all as far as the quarterbacks. Now, we're going to have to talk about the injury bug that they're going to be dealing with in a second, but let's get everyone else's take on that. Mike, you came in. What do you think?
Yeah, you played a kid. I mean, the backup is doing what he's paid what $8 million a year to do is to keep it humming. So no, I mean without question. Now it'll be something to talk about for a whole week, right? We love QB controversies in the DMV. So
There's no QB controversy
Yeah.
at all. Like I said before, if Jaden is healthy and they don't play him, somebody's losing their job.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Rusty.
All
And
right. So
comes with,
Shano, did
yeah,
you Shano didn't answer that question at all, did you?
I did, but
Okay,
I,
okay.
I wanted to ask a question, kind of
Uh-huh.
piggybacking off of it. So if he's rusty and he's stinking it up, how many quarters do we give him before we put Mariota back in?
You don't put
You
Mariota back
don't.
in. You
I'd
have to
rather
let
be
him get
have
you,
him
you
be
have to let
rusty
the rust
anyway.
fall off of him. That's
Okay.
the way it goes.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
let's face it, we're not talking about just any old quarterback here, So a rusty Jaden is better than most.
Yeah,
So
I
and I
agree.
don't think he will be rusty. I think he'll be more invigorated because we know he's the ultimate competitor. He wants to be on the field. I mean, they had to keep him out the game against the Raiders, frankly, to be, I hope that's not letting the cat out the bag, but I know he wanted to play.
Yeah.
And he would have played if it was a playoff game, he would have played. So again, you think about chemistry and things like that. I think one of the other things that you're going to have to remember too is that he's going to be rusty by default. And I say that with all sincerity because guess what, Terry? He's not playing Sunday. So there's some other guys that are nicked up as well. So no one is going to be in cohesion at this point. They haven't had a chance to have all their weapons on the field at the same time all the time. John Bates, another guy that they've missed. So it's going to take some time, and that's why it goes back to the original topic. If you're just joining us or just watching us, it was to get to 3-1, to potentially be at that mark with all these injuries by the end of the first quarter of the season. It's pretty remarkable, if you think about it. They've had what would you guys say as far as schedule difficulty? Well, what would you say? 10 being tough, one being not tough at all. Where would you guys
Six.
put that in there?
For
You
the
say a
That's
second
it.
six?
quarter,
Out of five. Out of
Five.
five.
We
Yeah.
face some of the best D lines you'll go against. So I mean that's enough in itself.
That's a fair statement right there. Like they haven't gone up against shabby defenses at all. I
True.
mean, even the Raiders defense wasn't horrible, but they got shredded.
Yeah.
So I
That
would
Green
probably,
Bay game
yeah,
almost seems
yeah,
like it's going to count twice.
yeah. And the Giants were competitive, in two or three of their games, So
Yeah.
I probably would give the schedule a six, maybe Green Bay, but I think if Green Bay hadn't lost to Cleveland, then I probably would have said like a 7 or an 8. But they went up and yeah, that's a whole nother story.
if you
Any
can,
given Sunday. Any given Sunday.
yeah.
Where do you guys stand on as far as, and I love I can do this today because we don't have a super large crowd, so we can just mix it all up here and
I
talk.
love
But what do you guys think as far as when overall you look at all these teams in the NFC, you know, you look at Seattle, they pulled one out last night where I went to bed on that game. They were up 17-6, and I'm like, this is taking up my time. I'm going to bed. My baby calls me. She's out in California actually for business, and she calls me and says, "Hey, what'd you think of the game last night?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" I went to bed, and she said, "You didn't see it? It was tied." And I said, "Like what, in the first quarter?" She said, "No, it came back. It was like 2020." And I said, "Nah, you're not talking about the same game." I had no idea that the Cardinals came back to obviously lose on the last second
That
field goal.
Kyler Murray.
Yeah, but with all that said, when you see teams like Seattle, who are now what 3-1,
3-1.
and you see the Buccaneers, who are undefeated, and obviously they got a tough one this week against the Eagles. I mean, a lot of things are going to start to shape itself out and come around over the next couple of weeks. But Washington's kind of under the radar right now. You know,
Sure.
like
I like it that way.
would you? I was going to say, would you prefer to stay at this right now, or do
Yeah.
you?
Absolutely.
Okay, because you guys do know if they win tomorrow, and then they were to go into LA and beat the Chargers, they're not going to be taken for granted anymore.
Yeah.
Hey, look, can I say who the unsung hero is for us
Who?
with our success?
Who?
The rotation of the O line. They're bringing Chris Paul and some other guys last week. And,
And they balled out.
yeah, and I'm like, why are the coaches not seeing this more often?
No, they do. I think they do. I think you should be glad that they are able to make moves like this, because it goes to show you that they're really that word competition is a real thing in that locker room. And if you're not getting it done, they're going to put someone else in there. And I have no problem with that.
Yeah, no, I love
one of the things that I want to say that I saw yesterday in the locker room that warmed my heart, man, it really did, was so we were talking with Chris, Chris Paul, and very intelligent dude, man, just very astute, was just humble and everything. He was talking about how he wants to recognize weaknesses in his game to improve them, not all the good stuff, and that's just the chatter of the locker room, always getting better. Well, anyway, a few minutes later, Brandon Coleman comes in and puts a big bear hug around Chris, Brandon Coleman, and the guy basically whose job he took, So it goes to show you, no hard feelings. Everybody's still rowing in the same direction, and Brandon knows his time's gonna come back up too, So
yeah, he's young, man.
but that's the stuff that you see in this locker room over the last 2 years that you just didn't see before. Like it's like everybody's in the locker room chilling. Jaden's in the locker room every day, hanging out, talking. And I've you guys probably tired of me telling this story, but there's only one quarterback in my whole time. This is my 17th year covering this team, 20 covering the league. There's only one time I saw a quarterback hanging in the locker room in burgundy and gold, and that was Alex Smith. That was it. The other guys, I mean, maybe Rex was in there every now and then, but for the most part, you didn't even know if Kirk Cousins was on the football team. Like, you never saw him in the locker room ever. If you did, it was to grab something out of the locker and get the heck up out of there. It's not like, it has not been like that for the last 2 years. I mean, Jaden is in there chilling. Guys are in there playing cards, and before anyone says they shouldn't be doing that, because I know a couple years ago I mentioned how they were playing ping pong in there and people got hot. Well, no, they don't have ping pong tables in this locker room. They don't have any of that stuff. It's a modern, well-looking locker room, but they do have a lounge area in there for the guys, and that's their home outside of their home. So if you have a problem with teammates playing cards or sitting there talking to each other, you're not a fan. I'm just going to tell you that. So
I think for me, if I could say anything to that is, if this was another regime and we didn't have the culture that we have now, and we were in a situation where we were down starters going to Atlanta or anywhere else,
they might be winless.
Yeah, I might not feel good as I feel. I still feel confident in the culture and what the guys that are going to be out there can do. I ain't even against another team starters. We're going to be down some guys, our main guys, some starters, but I still feel confident in the 53 that's going to be out there on Sunday, or the 40 some odd guys going to be out there on Sunday. So
that's the most important part. I think most of you guys feel this way. Like, sometimes I feel like I have one regret, my media life, and it was I didn't create this fan show, years ago. because it would have been just really interesting to see what would have been said, and like I wouldn't have seen all these gentlemen on here smiling now. No, it wouldn't have been any of that. I may probably
If you had a
might
show
not been
back
able to
then,
post this
I
stuff.
wouldn't even be on.
Yeah.
If you had a show, I wouldn't even be participating right now. If you had a show back then, I ain't gonna
I
lie
mean,
to you.
because it's
It was
all
rough.
it's
It
all
was
white,
was
pearly
that
white
bad.
teeth right now. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's like, "No, I'm good." They got major injuries. Terry's not playing Sunday. Jaden's not playing, but yet you still. I know you feel like they're going to win the football game, and that's the crazy part. You're right. If this was 3, 4 years ago, 10 years ago, you would have been like, "Man, it's going to be a long Sunday for me," and I would have been like, the travel would have made it. The way I felt with Green Bay. That's how I used to feel every week.
Yeah.
So, question for you.
Late, but I'm
Yes, sir.
sorry. I missed a lot today because I
Uh-huh.
had some. Can you roll through who's out for me? Because I
Yes.
know Jaden's out, and that's all. I just kept getting alerts that he wasn't playing. Is Amos
Yeah.
playing? Is Bill playing?
It's like 8
Bill,
people.
but I unless something has changed, Bill might play if I'm
Okay.
not
Bill's gonna
mistaken.
play.
Yeah, because he was practiced today, but Terry's out.
Mhm.
Um, and
More
see
Brown.
they tell us not to, so I can't just put it this way.
The injury report out.
It's real, but I still think they win the football game, and I think they win the game because on the defensive line, as long as those guys are intact right now,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean they're so disruptive. Do you guys remember? I told you that Javon Kinlaw signing was going to be huge.
You
You
did.
remember that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy is having a Pro Bowl season,
Yes.
and he
Yeah.
is an absolute animal. He's a
And
disruptor.
Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
Kane
and
is
he's
too.
well, I was going to say because of Javon, now Duran is the player that everyone was expecting. I've always said this, and this isn't to pile on John Allen. Everyone knows my feelings on John Allen, but I just felt like they were one and the same at the same time, and it just didn't mesh. It just didn't work. They needed a true space eater. I always said, if they can get them another big body guy, then you'll also see a guy like Johnny Newton do what he was doing at Illinois, where you see the burst and the speed and all those different things.
Yeah.
So that's where we are right now, and I'm telling you. I think Javon right now, I do believe that he is having a Pro Bowl caliber
Yeah.
season, and,
Yeah,
and
I
it should be something that everyone's noticing. Watch how many double teams that he's been getting, and
He
he's still
rips
getting.
through them.
Yeah, I was going to say, and he's still getting through those double teams. So another question for you guys, and we'll go around the horn here, and we'll start with Willis on this one. Who's been the most? I don't want to use the word exciting, but who's been like a Javon, for instance? That's mine. Who's been the player that has like opened your eyes that maybe you weren't expecting this much from this early on? And it could be a new player or it could be a returning player, but who's the guy that's kind of jumped off the television to you guys? And for me on the field, who's jumped off, and it's Javon, and it's also Bobby. So Bobby looks like he's found a true fountain of youth out there. So we'll start with Willis. What you got?
Yeah. Bobby to me is consistently great. So it just nothing about his performance surprises me. It's still wonderful. It was wonderful last year, and it's wonderful this year. So I mean, I think the first person that jumped in my mind as you were asking that question is Trey Amos. I mean, I knew everyone said he was going to be good. Seemed like he was a good fit in the off season, but I mean, he's literally just fit right in, and his level of play is so excellent, and I think it surprised me. I mean, I usually something doesn't go right, and I mean, all the hype doesn't usually line up the way it and give the results that we're getting, but you see Trey Amos out there, and I mean, he looks like he's been out there for 3 to 5 years. I mean,
He looks like a true number one corner, right?
absolutely. And that's what surprised me. So I mean, I think I'm kind of with you on Kinlaw because I didn't know what to expect really, but Amos for me is the guy that takes it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's go with Shano. Who do you have?
Well, I like the way Payne's playing. I wish we could put him on a 1-year contract every year. If he plays well,
Yeah.
contract years. But
Yep.
you know what? The person that always sticks out to me who's been here the longest is Tressway. He's solid no matter what type of team we have out there. So I got to give him kudos on that.
And he's knocking the cover off the ball again. You know,
yeah.
he's getting work. He's getting more work now. You know, because last year it was kind of like, like, damn, Tress, are you even on the team anymore? We used to joke with him all the time. He was loving life, but yeah, he's still got it. And this is like his 11th year or something. So I mean, this guy's really that's what he's done. He's been the ultimate consistent player. All right, so Mike B, what you think?
Shauno stole my thunder with the pain.
Uh,
So
My
I
bad.
will say I did not expect we oh man, I'm brain fart. The kid from San Francisco that we picked up. He's
Debo.
Debo is he
He's
I
he's
don't know.
he's killing it.
Let me think before I say this. I think he's the best offensive player that we've had.
I don't think anyone's gonna deny that.
Yeah.
I
Thus
said this.
far.
I said this when they traded for him, and I was in Indianapolis at the combine when the trade went through, and Adam and everyone was there, and I remember saying he's going to give you more than what Terry gives you, and I didn't mean that in any slight to Terry.
Sure.
Terry is a receiver, and he's their best receiver. Make no mistake about it. But I meant as far as like the versatility of the kickoff
Yeah.
returning, how you can line him up in the backfield. I meant that you're going to get more from this guy, and he's going to free up Terry too.
Mm-hmm.
You're starting to see how that's starting to work out too.
Mm-hmm.
And Terry did score last week, by the way. So you're starting to see how now people are starting to pay attention to Debo, and now Jalen Lane is starting to come around. And, so once everything really starts to click offensively and Jaden's back out there, remember this is happening without Jaden. So when
Mm-hmm.
Jaden's back out there, you'll see what this offense can be. They're not there yet, but you can see that. So I agree with you, Mike. I think Debo's value is clearly showing, and I think San Francisco is going to end up missing him a lot as this season progresses, for
Absolutely.
sure.
He
All right.
just he just got to stay out the infirmary, man. That's my. I mean, I I
Sometimes
love
that
putting him on
infirmary is not
kickoff.
wanting to play for people.
I love. I'm torn. It's like yes, I love seeing him on kickoff, and I don't like seeing him on kickoff because I'm like, man, if this dude gets
Right.
hurt, you know what I mean?
that's
That's
so
yeah.
important.
Unfortunately, that's the nature of the business.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he'll be fine. I will say this: who wants to come up and tackle that guy on a kickoff? I
Nobody.
mean, that's a cinder block running straight at you.
Business decision.
Oh, I saw a lot of them. I actually said that on my post game. I saw a lot of business decisions by the Raiders last week. I mean, it's funny how turf toe gets guys when they're a couple yards away from a tackle. Exactly. All right, so Eric, what do you think?
I got two parts. One, on defense, I'm going Jeremy Reeves.
Nice. And Jeremy, great conversation with Jeremy yesterday, man. He's so excited.
Yeah,
I told him this
I
is your
mean,
time. Yeah.
he is making plays. He's hitting defense, special teams. We're going to see more of them too,
Mm-hmm.
especially with Will Harris being out. And then
Yep.
on offense for real, nobody that's really stood out to me. But
Mm-hmm.
if I had to pick one, I'd have to pick Debo just because I knew he was going to be good, but I'm seeing that they're really, really utilizing his talent. So, yeah, I'd have to go Debo on offense, but yeah, defense for sure. I'd say Jeremy Reeves, him and Juan Martin's made some real nice plays as well. Those are my, I guess, three guys.
Okay. All right. Okay, cool. Ellison, what you think?
Mike B stole mine with Debo. I was gonna go Debo too, but one guy I do want to acknowledge that doesn't get enough praise is Jeremy McNichols. Every time he touches the ball or in the game and pass blocking and screens and whatever he's asked to do, he goes 100%, man, and he doesn't get acknowledged as he should. So I remember the couple games that he played last year, the Arizona game, I want to say the Tennessee game as well. He made plays then. So if he's a starter on Sunday or sees a whole lot of snaps, I'm confident that he's going to produce as he always does. So he's definitely one for me.
Yeah, I think his touchdown run was, to me, that was
Vicious.
them peeling the scab off. I mean, it was like after that point, it was just blood. I mean, seriously, I think that run kind of just got the team like, you know what, it's time to step on these guys, and that was huge, and he got to the house with it too. So whenever you can do that, that's always a big thing. So, all right, so Brad, what you think?
No, yeah, I was gonna say Reeves. I was gonna say McNichols. That's surprising.
Sure you
But
were.
the good thing is, no, honestly,
No,
because
I'm just messing with you.
yeah. But what surprised me was to see Lane turn on the speed and see that it was legit on the punt return. And even just the special teams as a whole, man, we got the best special teams in the league.
Yeah, I mean, like literally they do, don't they?
Yeah, especially coming from preseason, it didn't look good to the season. It's like, oh, okay, they must not have had the starters in.
So I mean, I'm so glad you brought that up, because you guys remember I kept telling you when we were in New England, I remember telling you, don't let that be what you think is going on here, because in that New England game, remember the first play of the game, Travion Henderson took it to the house. And after the game, when I'm talking to Dan, he's like, it chapped his ass. That's what he said, that because they put so much in the special teams. But also remember, it was like 30 guys that didn't suit up that are on the roster. The 53 that suited up that night, maybe 16 of them are on the roster right now. So you knew that those weren't going to be their main guys. And you're right. I would say this, save for some of the field goal issues, I would say Washington has the best special teams in the league. And hopefully Matt Gay, he did come around last week, or at least for, after he missed the first one. We were looking at each other in the press box, and somebody asked me, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm telling him to get out his uniform right now. I thought that's what I literally was thinking. Like, he's not surviving this. It's done after this game.
I think
he goes out and makes a 57-yarder, and then he makes another one, and it's like, okay, they did give him some guaranteed money to do these things.
Yeah, I was about to say, we just gonna have to
have to suck this one up, because they're not getting
they're not gonna get rid of him. So we just gonna have to lift them up in press.
And Dan said that. Dan said they have well, Dan said they have confidence in him, right? So he's not going anywhere.
Hey, like it's like, I know Mike would agree with this. It's like missing a 3-footer. Once you miss one little putt, it's in your head the rest of the day, man. I'm like, I got a 3-foot putt for eagle, and I blow it by 5 feet.
But see, the thing is that then when you miss a 3-footer, but then you go out and get a hole in one on the next round, it's like
confidence.
Okay, we got to stick with him because he can do some magical things if it's all there. They just have to be more consistent. But I've
thank
told
the Raiders coach for calling that timeout and giving him that practice kit.
That's a great point. A great point right there. Yeah,
that might be that timeout that turns the tide for him.
And it probably was, because I'm gonna tell y'all, he did not look comfortable when he went back out there, and it was like, I mean, when a kicker's in his head, because he did not look up the whole time. Even during time, he's just looking down, and I'm like, man, this guy's shot right now. And then he goes and knocks it through, and it just, sometimes you just need to see that, right? You need to see that ball going through the goalpost. Yeah, it's like look, I'm a former hooper, man, and that's what it was. When warm-ups, people are like, why are you not doing all these different shots? And I'm like, no, I'm at the free throw line over and over and over, halfway through the lane doing the same thing, because I just need to see that ball going through the net. So that was big for Washington. Now, if he comes around and he's consistent, think about the Green Bay game. How if he makes the field goal at the end of the first half, how if he makes the other one later in the game, that whole game could be different. And they played like crap that game, and yet they still was 17-10 with 9 minutes in the
short
fourth
field
quarter.
goals. Like, it wasn't like they were 60-some yards. Like, Dallas got a kicker that can make it from 75 if they need to. But we can't find a kicker to make it from 45.
Well, hopefully that's not going to be the issue going forward. So real quick,
he also he also kicked the ball out of bounds too, and they started one possession
Bro.
at the 40.
Man, I'm
So
telling you,
that
all
one
these
got me.
He
things,
was going until that 57-yarder.
yeah, all these things we're seeing in the press box, and I'm telling you guys, I'm so glad I didn't like tweet that because you try not to let your emotions come, but I wanted to tweet like, get him out of here, like this is bad.
Yeah.
I said it in New England. I said Washington's got a problem with kicker right now. They're gonna have to bring someone in here and challenge this guy, and they never did. That's why I do what I do, and that's why they do what they do. But yeah,
Lane, I do have a question though.
sure.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Preston Smith is back, and primarily even when he was in DC the first time, he played primarily in a 3-4. So how are they going to utilize him here? And we basically, for the most part, play 4-3.
I think he's going to be similar to what they do with Vaughn. It's
Okay.
and maybe even Frankie. At times like.
Okay.
Like practice this week, Frankie was at. Never mind. Yeah, so almost slipped up on that one.
It's gonna be the first edited out.
Yeah, man.
I gotta take over for Brad from Detroit. Don't do it. Don't do it. They don't do it.
Yeah, so yeah, they're gonna move people around. Just put it that way. See, that's the thing I love about doing this with you guys, but that's the thing I hate about doing this because it's like you just want to talk like we on the couch. That's what we do. But yeah, I don't want to be literally on the couch having to do this because I done ran my mouth too much. But yeah, no, I think you're gonna see him get ramped up as this thing goes on. They don't need him right now. Specifically. The thing that I do think about quite often though is that. Man, Diedrich was my dude, man. He was a good dude. And when he got hurt, that was a blow because this defensive line is already disruptive. But with him in there too, this thing could have been real special. It still can be special, but I mean, he was causing some problems out there,
He's just a big human too. Oh my
man,
goodness.
that's the thing. You guys remember I told you. I felt like a little, man, at many times around these dudes, like, damn, like, and I used to hoop in college, so I'm used to being around 6'10", 6'9", 7-foot dudes, but they're not large, these dudes are like 6'5", 6'6", and like, if they sat right here, they'll fill up this whole screen. You wouldn't even see the shoulders. I mean, they're humongous, and that's the first thing you notice with this football team in general. It's a large football team. The offensive line is a large offensive line. This isn't Ron's team. This isn't Jay Gruden's team. This is definitely not Shanahan's offensive line. Shanahan's offensive line was short and squat and they were
the smallest offensive line in the league.
He did. Now you look at what they're doing now. You clearly see what Adam's doing. This is that 49er type of physicality in the trenches where they put a lot into that, and it makes sense now. So we got about 9 minutes or so here. So what I want to do now is get your thoughts and your predictions for Sunday. The best part of the show. I don't think I've ever heard a fan say we're going to lose on this show ever. I don't think I've ever heard that, and I'm waiting for that day. They could be going into Philly. They could be going into Philly without their starting quarterback, without their starting two receivers. Debo and Terry could be out. They could have a whole defensive line out, and you guys will find a way to say that they're going to win. So, all right. So let's start with Sunday down at the Mercedes-Benz Dome. I'll be there. Looking forward to seeing if Marcus can keep this thing rolling. I think he will. I'm just going to come out and say I'm predicting a win. I'm predicting Washington to win this game 26-17.
Oh, almost my score.
And I'm being diligent for Atlanta because I'm not sure if they're going to get to 17. I think this defense is really ready. But let's just say 26-17, Atlanta gets some garbage stuff, even though I love what Joe Witt told us yesterday at practice. He said, it put stank on it when the Raiders, that's what he said. It put stank on it when the Raiders got that late score because it could have looked really nice. So, let's start with Brad on this one. What you got?
So, of course, I got Commanders. I think Mariota with that read run or
Read option.
I think, yeah, that read option, he's gonna keep fooling them because even I get fooled. I can't tell who got the ball for the first 2 seconds.
Does it well.
And I
That's
think
his
that
thing.
I hope that defense puts pressure on Penix time and time again because there's too many. They got good skill players, so we have to get to the quarterback so the skill players can't touch that ball. So I think we win 36.
Whoa.
17. I think we keep
All
it.
right,
Keep fire on them.
that's another beating. That's a belt to you know what. Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
okay,
Even with no
okay,
carry, I think we can score still.
okay, all right, okay. So, Ellison, what you think?
I'm more of us winning, obviously. I'm more of 23-19, something like that.
You think it's going to be a close game then?
I do think it'd be a close game
They
because
normally are when these two teams play.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
and they've made some changes with some members of the coaching staff, and I think some of the guys are feeling a little bit of pressure to get a game. So I think it'll be a little bit more close for comfort, too close for comfort. So, but I still like us by 4, 23-19.
Okay, and you know Atlanta's not going to look like they did against the Panthers last week. That's not.
Right.
I mean, these are still professionals. They still get checks too, and they have a lot of
Yeah.
talent. They were a team that was a game away, ironically, from the playoffs themselves last year. So I expect a much tougher game, but I think Washington's just too much for them right now. All right, so Eric, what you think?
I'm gonna come out and say it, man. Atlanta 10, Washington 72.
You know what? If that were to happen, you're gonna be playing some tickets for me.
Yeah, but I think we're gonna really own the time possession, run the ball a lot. So I don't think we're gonna score a lot of points, even though we can, because Atlanta
Still
they're
be
in
in
shambles
control
right
of the
now.
game. Yeah, but still be in control of the game.
Yeah, so I'm looking for a 27 to probably like a 7 win with us having 40 plus minutes of time of possession. As long as they run the ball. Cliff, for some reason, he'll run the ball, a shitload for 2 weeks and then just go missing. So as long as they run the ball in the D line, the defense plays how they've been playing, I think we'll own time possession 38 to 40 minutes.
Okay.
And Atlanta will just have to try and play catch up with us.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, Mike B, what you got?
So mine was close to yours, like 24-16. And I think we get 3 tutties and a field goal.
Okay.
And I think they get 1 tutty and 3 field goals. Check my math. That should be 24-16.
Okay. Y'all do know Terry and Jaden not playing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the
Okay.
day, I just want a dub, but
Yeah, true.
Okay.
I want
All
to
right.
run it. If we can run it up, run it up.
Okay. All right, Shano, what you think? What you think?
Yeah, I'm on the same lines as Eric as far as controlling the ball, the time of possession. I think we're going to have a good run game. Initially, I didn't like the fact that it was a committee, but now I'm starting to like it because that's less wear and tear on each person's body. And if they're all performing or, being showing some productivity, let's do it. I don't really do the score thing. I know we're going to win, but it's also invaluable to have all these subs coming in and getting game minutes.
Yeah.
Because down the road, when we need them to step in, it's not fresh for them. They'll been there, done that. So looking forward to it. But definitely we're gonna run and keep Bijan on the sideline.
Oh, I hope so,
Yeah,
You
man.
got to.
He's a
You got
beast.
That's the biggest fear.
You know what? Yes, that's the one thing that I'm looking forward to more than anything else is can't even say that. But the defensive line going up against, their run game because that was the Achilles heel for the defense last year was the lack of being able to stop the run. Well, guess what? This year no one's able to run the football on it. I mean, you can get some garbage carries, but I mean in the thick of the game, they're getting stoned at the line of scrimmage. There's nothing coming. You're not running in between the tackles on this team.
No.
That's not happening. So it's just going to be interesting to see how they try to get Bijan out to the side, to the edges. And that's where, a guy like Dedrick Wise would have come into play. So now we're going to see how all this stuff works out. But as always, fellas, this was good, man. We had a smaller group today, so we could talk a little bit more freely. But we're gonna keep this thing rolling. And again, I apologize to everybody who we're expecting to do this on Saturday, but I'll be traveling tomorrow to Atlanta, so it wouldn't work. And then next week, be in LA traveling, so we're probably gonna have to do the same thing. So again, away games for the Commanders, we will do it on Friday, and then home games for the Commanders, we can do it on Saturdays, because I'll be in the hotel near the stadium for that.
Yep.
So, all
Yep.
right. So,
Are they
everybody,
leaving early? Are they leaving early next week for LA? Or since it's,
yeah,
back in California, are they leaving early?
they are. So
Okay.
we'll have practice at the Coliseum out there, and I hope I can say these things. These are just eesh. I'm serious. Like I'm afraid to say anything, man. But no, there's going to be a practice out there before, and it's to get acclimated. That's smart.
Mhm.
That's the way
Yeah.
you should do things. You're going into
Yeah.
a different time zone,
Yeah.
and different weather as well. My baby told me today out there in Palm Springs, like 95 degrees. Like, my God.
Lord.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. So, fellas, I appreciate you guys as always, man. And we're going to do it again next week. We're doing this thing every week this season. We will make it work. Talk about the Burgundy and Gold. And hopefully they can get a big win and improve their record to 3-1. And we'll be back next week to talk about this. And then we'll be talking about the big one coming up in Los Angeles against the Chargers. And Shauna, we definitely will link up. Shoot me your email. I mean, I got your email. Shoot me your phone number, and we'll link
already
up at
done.
the stadium. All right. So I appreciate you guys.